Thank you guys for letting me be here. I'm honestly probably just as nervous as like you guys are when you talk to people in your classes because I'm just, I don't know, naturally nervous of public speaking. But here I am stepping out of my comfort zone. I wanted to talk to you guys about a couple different things today. So the first thing I wanted to share is a little bit about my story. So I was kind of sheltered a little bit growing up. I was just kind of an awkward kid, to be honest. And when I ended up going to public school, I was like teased a bunch because I didn't know like the stuff you're supposed to know, you know, like all the sexual stuff. I was like, oh, I didn't know any of this. So everyone called me prude, and I was teased a bunch, and that was really hard. So I lived in New York, and in New York I was teased and all that, right, when I go to public school. So when we moved to Colorado, I was like, I'm gonna make a new name for myself. When I get to public school in Colorado, I'm gonna make sure that people think of me as like hard and cool and like whatever the opposite of prude is, I want to be that. So I spent a lot of years trying to build up that feeling, right? So I don't know if anyone here has seen the movie Easy A, but in Easy A, the girl kind of like, people make bad assumptions about her and she just kind of like lets it happen. And that's kind of what happened for me, basically. Like people would be like, oh, I heard you were like out with so-and-so last night, like some dude. And I'd be like, yeah. It wasn't even true, like, which is, you know, ridiculous. But because I wanted to be viewed as cool and I wanted to be accepted, I would kind of let people believe things about me that were maybe viewed as cool, which is just kind of ridiculous. But I dealt with a lot of insecurity, right? A lot of just trying to please people, and a lot of wanting guys to like me, wanting girls like me, wanting to be like in the in crew. And I had a lot of friends, so it wasn't that I like wasn't good at having friends, but it was one of those things where I spent way too much time and way too much energy caring what everyone else thought. And now, you know, I'm 25, and so I can look back on high school, I can look back on middle school, and I can see where, you know, where my mindset was at and how far I've come away from that. But today I kind of want to talk about some of the ways that I became more confident in who I am, and some of the things that, I mean, it's still a daily thing, you know? You don't reach an end point, and I think that I always thought, you know, in high school, like once I got through college, then I would have made it, you know? And then I got through college, I'm like, oh crap, I'm through college, now I'm like an adult or something, and now I have to figure out a job thing, so then I got a job, and then I thought I'd have made it once I got a job, and even then you kind of still feel like you're like, I'm still this like kid stuck in an adult body that's trying to do adulty type things. So it's still a daily struggle. Like, it's not like you just reach an ending point. So if you have that notion in your head, get rid of it, because you're never going to be perfect. You're always going to struggle with different things in your life. So right now, I'm gonna look at my notes a little bit just because I need notes. But I'm a personal trainer at a gym downtown called Fit Athletic Club. So my job every single day is to teach people about nutrition and how to work out. But a lot of what I talk about also is simply the mindset, right? Because we can have a beautiful body, and we can eat healthy, and we can go to the gym or be active, whatever that looks like for you, playing sports, etc. But if ultimately you're not happy with who you are on the inside, it doesn't matter how beautiful you are on the outside, right? Outward beauty is gonna fade one day. You're gonna be like 65, everything's gonna be sagging. You're not gonna be cute. Like, let's just deal with that right now. So confidence it doesn't build overnight. Confidence doesn't just like happen one day, you just wake up and you're confident. Like I said, it's constantly trying to combat lies, okay? So today I want to talk about some of the lies that I have struggled with, either currently or in the past, right? And so usually the lies that we struggle with from our past are things that will continue, and it's a work in progress of telling yourself the truth, okay? So today I'm going to share 3 different lies with you that I have struggled with or worked through, and then I'll share the truth that's basically the opposite of that lie, right? This is like, the lies are the things that in your head is like the little negative self-talk that you're doing every single day, and you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you hear these like just negative thoughts that just pop in, right? And a lot of times we just accept them or we just move on, we don't even really think about it. So the first thing I want to challenge you guys is thinking like, when you hear a lie popping in your head, like, I don't know what kind of lies each of you deal with, because we all have different things that we struggle with, but maybe it's I'm not beautiful, or no one likes me for the thing that I do like this, or whatever it might be. It's that when you hear that happening, that negative self-talk, it's capturing it first and saying, okay, that was negative, that wasn't okay, and then it's combating it and saying the truth, so the opposite. So lie number 1, I need a boyfriend to make me happy. How many of us struggle with thinking that we need a boyfriend to make us happy? For the longest time, I was like, once I find the guy, then the rest of my life will basically just fall in place, right? Like, once you have your boyfriend, you're set. Not true, still single, so there's that. Good luck, everyone. Just joking. I have faith that there is good stuff to come, but you don't need a boyfriend. I lived in Colorado. I kept waiting for a boyfriend to move to California. I kept wanting to move and go do something. I was like, I'm either gonna move to Australia, or I'm gonna move to Cambodia, or I'm gonna move to California. But I gotta meet a guy, and then we'll move together. Because who wants to go move somewhere all alone? That's really scary, right? All my best friends got married. I was a maid of honor. I'm like watching all my best friends just like, and I'm at their wedding just single. And everyone else, like, we're like sitting at those tables, and everyone like sits with their significant other. And then there's just like me, like solo, like, hey. So, needless to say, the lie, I need a boyfriend to make me happy, is combated with the truth, right? So the truth of that statement is the opposite, and that is my self-worth isn't defined by a man, and I'm happy with who I am right here and right now. And that's not easy to always swallow. And this is not something I just struggled with in high school or in college. It's something I struggle with to this very day. And I have to continually remind myself, I do not need someone else to define me, whether that's a best friend or a man or a woman or a boss or anything. You don't need anyone else to define who you are. And it's about finding comfortability in who you are, just in that silent moment by yourself. All right, lie number 2. Being beautiful is the key to getting people to like me. So for a long time, for me, I always thought, like, as long as I look good, people will like me, right? Because that's all we care about is looks. And that's horrible, because it's not true. And I bet you, each of you can think of a beautiful person you know on the outside who's just not beautiful on the inside. And I bet on the flip side, you could probably think of people you know who maybe aren't CoverGirl magazine quality, but you know their heart, and they're beautiful because of what's inside their heart, right? So let's start thinking more about what's on the inside and a little bit less on what's on the outside. So the truth that combats that, so the lie, being beautiful is the key to getting people like me. The truth is, outer beauty fades. People will like me because of my kind and loving personality. Loving people and being kind to people is gonna pay for itself 1,000 times more than being beautiful. All right, lie number 3. Being fun means being popular. So I'll say yes to anything that makes me fun and popular. So for me in high school, that looked like drinking, right? I would go to parties, and if there's alcohol there, I wanted to be the most fun, taking the most shots, being the one who's, I want everyone to look at me and be like, oh, that's the party girl. Even though that wasn't who I was, but once again, I was still trying to get rid of that facade of the little homeschooler awkward Janelle. So I wanted to be fun, popular Janelle, right? And that's a lie, right? Like, just because you're fun doesn't mean you're popular, and ultimately that's not how you're gonna get places in life, right? Especially drinking. Definitely not gonna get you good places in life. Just if getting drunk is something you struggle with right now, I'm gonna tell you it doesn't get that much better, right? If all through college, after college, I know people who are 25, I know people who are 30, 35, 40, their marriages are struggling, their families are struggling because they're still continuing to give into that. So don't let alcohol become something that you're really passionate about, because that doesn't just go away. So thinking about that from a young age is important. So lie, being fun means being popular. I'll say yes to everything fun. The truth to combat that is being respected and in control of my social situations is better than being popular. And sometimes that means saying no. So thinking about the areas of your life that you need to say no to more, as opposed to always saying yes. So don't repeat lies in your head. Any of the lies that you start to think of, Instead, think of the truth. So we're gonna do a little activity. I'm gonna pass out paper and pens, and I want each of you to grab a piece of paper and pass it on. We're gonna write out 3 lies that you believe about yourself currently, and underneath that, I want you to leave a space, and you're gonna write the opposite, or the truth, that combats that lie. And you guys want to share this with anyone. Like, this can just be, I know there's people sitting close to you. Try not to look at each other. It's like, this isn't a comparison game. This isn't about trying to write something that like you think I want to hear, or that like the person next to you is going to be cool with reading. No one else has to read what you write. And if you don't feel comfortable doing this right now, like if you want to write down something like fake right now, that's fine. But I would challenge you to go home and write down something real. And actually start to dig into yourself and dig into the depths of who you are and think, what lies am I believing? Because if you can get rid of those lies and start telling yourself truths, you're gonna start to think more positively. You're gonna start to think more confidently in who you are. Okay, so we're gonna take 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes to write those down. And I'm not gonna ask anyone to share. Like, no one needs to share. This is not one of those things where I'm like, now raise your hand and share. No, this is not to share. This is you privately, personally, getting deep into who you are. So take 2 to 3 minutes. You can turn on a little bit of music. Write a line through the lie, and then say the truth. Keep repeating that truth to yourself. The truth is what matters. If you believe that truth, you're gonna start to make a difference in the lives of the people around you. And if you believe the lie, all that's gonna do is it's gonna shut you down. So break free from the lie and start believing the truth about yourself. And tonight, you know, when you go home, one thing I've been trying to do lately is like turn off my phone for 30 minutes, maybe 1 hour. Go on, like, whether you want to go on airplane mode, and then you know, like, so you can still listen to music. That's usually what I'm doing. It's like, I'm like, I still need to listen to music, but I don't want to get texts. I don't want to get like any Instagram notifications. I don't want anyone to Snapchat me. Like, I just want to sit with my thoughts and sit with my journal. And like, I hated journaling forever and ever. I always was like, I would only journal like every 6 months, like if a boy broke up with me. Like, but now I'm like, I journal every single day, and I'm starting to get more of my thoughts out on paper. I'm starting to dream bigger, and I'm starting to think about what I want for my life. What are the next steps? Who do I want to be? Who do I want to become, right? Who is Janelle supposed to be? Now ask yourself, who are you supposed to be? What are the giftings that are set inside of you that only you have? Because each person has their own set of giftings, right? Every single one of you is an individual. We all have some negative qualities, right? I'm not very patient. I'm really bad at being on time, places. I have like this list of things that aren't my best qualities. Now I can change those. I can work on those for sure. You can change anything about yourself that you want to change about yourself. And if you truly believe that, you will make a change. But start to think about the positives, the things that you do have to offer, and start giving those as little gifts to different people. All right, so I'm gonna finish up with my last little bullet point. Good, I've got a couple more minutes left. Here are 3 tips that I have for becoming more approachable and more confident, and ultimately more likable, which is what a lot of us want, right? Is to draw more people into us. The more people we can draw in, the more we can impact, right? So if you have more people in your life, the more you can pour into them, love on them, serve them. So the first thing, very simple, smile more. It seems kind of basic, I know. But I was reading this book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you haven't read it, it's a great book. It's by Dale Carnegie, who is a guy like who's dead. And this book was released like, I don't even know, don't quote me on this, but 150 years ago or something, okay? And this book is still a bestseller 150 years later because it's that good. And it gives you all these different ideas for life. But one of them is smile more, and I've been taking that. And as I walk to work, I live downtown, and I have like a mile long walk, and I walk by all these homeless people. I just started smiling at the homeless people, right? Like, I don't need to talk to them, or like, you know, obviously I want to be safe. I'm not trying to like put myself in a bad situation, but a smile's not gonna do anything, you know? Look someone directly in the eyes and smile at them. Like, look deep into the eyes and know that they are a human being, and a smile's not gonna hurt. You don't lose anything by giving someone a smile. So while you're walking through these hallways, Whether you are feeling confident or not, fake it till you make it. Look at people in the eyes and smile, even a little smirk. Like, people will be kind of like, whoa, that's weird. You know, like, it's almost rocking the boat a little bit because they think it's strange that you're just smiling at them. So that's one of my favorite ones, whether that's a teacher or a boss, your parents, random human beings that you're passing all around you. There is nothing more sexy or attractive than someone who walks around with a smile on their face because they don't care what anyone else thinks. They're happy with themselves. All right, number 2, be confident in your posture. So a lot of times what we do, whether we realize it or not, we kind of sit with a little bit of a slump, right? Or we walk with a little bit of slump, or if you're not very confident, it's easy to walk and kind of just keep your gaze down and shoulders forward, right? One of my best friends that I met my freshman year of college in the dorms, she lived right across the dorm from me. I don't know if I would say that whether she was confident or not confident, but her posture said that she was not confident. So when she would walk around college with me, she would be like, dude, guys are always looking at you. Like, the way you walk, like, guys are always looking at you. So one day she woke up and decided she was gonna try to walk like me. I'm not saying this to toot my own horn by any means, but she decided to put her shoulders back, gaze up, and to just strut her stuff while she walked around campus. She was like, you would not believe the amount of guys that checked me out today. It was crazy. She was like, I started to look around and guys were looking at me the way they look at you. She had it all along. All she had to do was give it a try. Put her shoulders back, wear a smile on her face. Your posture says a lot about you. Once again, whether you feel confident or not, there's a little bit of fake it till you make it, right? We're all working through lies. We're all working through insecurities. No matter who you are, whether you are the most beautiful model that's like the Victoria's, like Candace Schwink, whatever you say her last name, I don't know, that model. Or if you're like a homeless person, like everyone is dealing with something and we all have insecurities. We all can compare ourselves to other people. So don't think for a moment that ever stops. It doesn't, but it's your decision to start making changes in that area. All right, the very last thing, third one, so number 1, smile more. Number 2, carry yourself with good posture, right? Shoulders back, chin up. You know, just like act sexy, that's all. 3, give significance. Every single human being in this room wants to feel important, right? We all want to feel important, we all want to feel significant. Why do we do the things we do every single day? Because we want to feel important or significant. Like, let that sit with you for a second. It's so true. We all care so much about us. Like, I care about me. I'm sorry, but that's true, and I think that you care about you. But what if, and I know this is like so basic, golden rule, we've been learning it forever, but what if you actually put that into practice, right? What if you were to give the significance that you're wanting to receive? So maybe you want someone to hear all about your day because you had a dope day. Like, you're like, I actually got an A on this test, and you know, like the guy I have a crush on, like literally looked at me and smiled, like I think we're about to get married, it's great. Whatever it is, just maybe instead of sharing all the stuff about you, I bet you that person wants to hear, or they want to hear themselves talk, right? We all want to kind of hear ourselves talk. I'm listening to myself talk right now. I'm kind of rambling per usual. But give someone else the opportunity to feel significant. So let them share about their day. Ask them, how was your day? What, you know, try to ask like a deeper question. Like, you don't have to always start with like really basic, boring questions. Like, what if you were to ask some hard questions? Like, what was the worst thing that happened to you this week? Or what's your relationship like with your mom? Or, you know, what if you were to, even if it's a very close friend, ask, hey, what did you write down on that piece of paper in that lunch meeting? Like, what's something you're struggling with? You might find out that there are people struggling with very similar things to you, and if you're actually vulnerable enough to share it with someone you trust, then maybe they're gonna share something back with you, right? And you end up both feeling very significant because you're both heard, you're both vulnerable, you're both real with each other, right? You're starting to break down these walls and these barriers. And that's all. That's lunch. Thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you for listening.